everybody. This is Zach at it again. I'm your host, Zach Cooley, and I am honored to be here with the Sheriff of Wythe County and my dear friend, Mr. Charles Foster. Thank you, Mr. Foster, for being with me today. It's an honor to have you on the phone.
Thank you, Mr. Cooley.
Well, as I said before we turned the recorder on, you don't do these interviews very often, so I'm honored that you let me do this one, because it was very important for me to get to talk with you, because as you know, the Wythe County Sheriff's Office is a place that is near and dear to my heart. I grew up alongside you and many other officers at the Wythe County Sheriff's Office, as my father was the chief deputy of Wythe County for 14 years. In fact, he was the man who hired you. Is that correct?
Yes, him and Wayne together actually spoke to me and gave me a chance and an opportunity to be employed.
Absolutely, and you, my father served as a good mentor for you, did he not?
Absolutely, yes. Herb Cooley was always very passionate, and he really cared about the officers that he oversaw and those who were under his command.
Absolutely, he did. And we did an interview when you became sheriff, so I may ask you some of the same questions that I asked you before, but I just want to make sure that we have everything in perspective. Now, what made you decide that you wanted to join the sheriff's office when you did in 1987?
Well, I'd always had an interest in it, and my father, who was never a police officer, sort of urged me to take a look at it. He thought it might be something that I would enjoy doing, and he just happened to be friends with Sheriff Pike at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he influenced me to maybe come down and talk to him, take a look at how the operations worked, and maybe try to pursue a career.
And I'm sure you're glad you did. You became sheriff in 2021. You've only been sheriff for about 3 years, and as I recall, that was sort of a dream job for you, maybe one you never thought you would get to, but was it sort of a dream job for you?
It was. I mean, in the beginning, I never had, to be honest with you, any aspirations of being the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed what I've done. I loved working with the people who are employed here.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably hear this a lot, but this has never been like a job to me. This has always just been a very unique family. And we suffer at times the same circumstances that other families do. You'll have your good days, and you'll have your bad days.
Sure.
But you always remember the good days.
And it certainly is a family, and I know that because I've been lucky to be a part of that family and to grow up alongside of the Wythe County Sheriff's Office. And I felt like, there were a lot of us kids at that time around the same age that were growing up, and I don't know how they felt, but you had Tabitha Dunnigan, Keith Dunnigan's daughter, that was the sheriff before you, that was the same age as me, and Brittany Collins, Patty Collins. The late Patty Collins was my dad's secretary. She's a year older than me, and I don't know how they felt, but I felt like that I was like an unofficial mascot of the sheriff's office. And I'm sure that those other kids, we had people like Teeny Underwood that spoiled us rotten. Every time we come to the sheriff's office, there'd be candy and soda and ice cream cakes on our birthday. And it really felt like a family. And it sounds like even though that it's a much bigger operation than it was in the 80s and 90s, that it still is a family.
Yes, nothing's changed as far as that goes. Some of the best people I've ever worked with in my life.
Mm-hmm. So, back to the question I'd started to ask, you'll know very quickly, if you don't already, that I have a tendency to start 10 different tangents in a conversation and never finish one. But the question I was going to ask, you've only been sheriff for about 3 or 4 years. Why are you choosing now to retire?
Well, I've set an exit date for August the 1st, which will give me exactly 4 years, which would have equaled one term.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, I fulfilled 2 years of Sheriff Dunnigan's term when he stepped out. And when I ran for sheriff, a lot of people don't realize it, but I'd been an employee here for 34 years.
That's right.
And, yes, sir. And I'm still relatively young. You wouldn't know it to look at me. But,
I think you're very young. That's one of the reasons why I was asking why you chose to retire early, because you are quite young.
Right. As of August 1st, I've already had 38 years of service, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure I completed a 4-year term totally for the people having the confidence in me to allow me to have the job. And I've ran upon so many people, so many good people here in Wythe County who have asked me, well, why? Or we enjoy having you. We don't want to see you leave. And, there just has to be a time in a man's life where you have to make a decision where that's enough. Step aside, let younger people with brighter and more, I wouldn't say maybe better ideas, but, brighter ideas, there's no more coming in. As we progress through the profession, I know that, if you talk to guys my age that started here, we carried revolver pistols. We drove cars with 200,000 miles on them. Mm-hmm. And we have really come a long way out of the darkness into the light. And you just have a lot of guys with some ambitions and some really good ideas, like the chief deputy that I've got, Anthony Klein. I can't sit here and tell you the time that man has spent securing grants, whether they be state, local, or federal. And there is not a thing that we do not have here at the Wythe County Sheriff's Office that any sheriff's office in the country who's the most equipped doesn't have. He has wrote grants for ammunition, different tactical pieces of equipment that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, which there would be no way we'd be able to afford that just on the size of our county and the things that we do and that we acquire. But we have the best and most equipped office, and we have worked on pay over the last few years. We've got the deputies up to a good livable wage with the help of the Wythe County Board of Supervisors, who have been phenomenal to work with, especially for about the last 6 years. They, too, have become a part of my family as far as helping me budget the things that I need. I never went and asked the Board of Supervisors for anything that was a want. It was always a need. Mm-hmm. And they have always been very, very supportive of the office ever since I took over. Not all sheriffs got to experience that, but I was very, very fortunate, and I got to experience that. I'm just really proud of the progress we've made, and I really look forward to seeing what happens in the future here.
So I guess it goes without saying that you fully endorse Anthony Klein as he runs this November for sheriff.
Yes, sir. I can't think of any other person that the citizens of our county would even begin to think to elect other than him. Anthony is just, he's not just a friend. He's actually been a mentor to me, and he's relatively younger than me. Anthony's in his early 40s. I'll be 60 here in a couple years, but I said I wasn't going to tell my age, but I just did. But,
that's all right. I won't print it if that's what you'd rather me do.
No, I don't care if you print it at all. But, like I said, he's just got a lot of bright ideas that he's going to bring with him. Anthony really cares about this community. I think all of us that's had this job cares about this community, or we wouldn't ran for the job. But he has young children who are still in school. He's been great. He's started a lot of programs here that's really helped our children. Shop with a Cop being one of those programs. We want to see all of our citizens and their children have a very productive and just a great Christmas season. And, you know, a lot of people have hardships. They run up on hard times. They unfortunately lose their jobs. Things happen in our life that we never predict that will happen. But he went a step further after he implemented that program, and we talked, and we wanted to implement another program, which was the Pack the Bus program, which we're actually getting ready to have here the 1st of August. And Walmart's always been great participating with that as well. And I can't recall over the last 2 or 3 years that we've done that we actually did not pack the bus. I mean, we just had every item that a child would need, from something so minute as a pencil to glue sticks, notebooks, backpacks, anything that a child or their parents would have any trouble being able to afford, so a child can have it to use in the furtherance of their education. We've been able to provide that as well, and Walmart's been a great partner with us as well. And we distribute those items equally to every school, whatever we collect, and it just gives us a good feeling. It's good to know that we can give back to a community that's been good to us. Wythe County, in my opinion, is the ultimate place to live, work, and raise a family. You hear that saying a lot, and people use that to describe where they live. But I haven't been abroad, but I've traveled a lot here in the United States, and I'll just tell you, there's not another place like Wythe County that I've ever been. To be able to have the honor of being the sheriff here is just, it's humbled me, and I'll just never forget the opportunity.
I would agree 100% with your assessment of that. Having lived here all of my 40 years, and a large part of that is the safety that we feel through leaders like you and your department in the Wythe County Sheriff's Office. I know that I can call the Sheriff's Office with any serious need I have, to anything as minute as, I'm doing a documentary on my father and I'd like you to come narrate it for me. And you came and sat down and spent an hour and a half with me reading 50 pages of a documentary that I put together on my father. Which I'm very grateful to you for doing personally. But I feel a lot of the reason that Wythe County is the best place to live, work, and raise a family is because of the safety that people like the Wythe County Sheriff's Office provides, and that is due in large part to your leadership, and I'm very grateful to you personally.
I so very much thank you for that. And like you said, you know, we look at the world situation nowadays, and I myself continually pray for our leaders and the leadership of our country. And you know, it's a scary thought when you can go about 68 miles north of here, or turn on televisions that represent that area and see a murder every night. It's got to the point where someone is losing their lives every night in those different cities that surround us. And I know my colleagues have a hard job in trying to police that, and it's becoming a problem. And we're just so very fortunate, like I said, that we have had murders here. Very unfortunate that we've had murders here. I had several during my tenure here as sheriff. And I'm glad we were able to solve those and arrest the accused and put them behind bars. But when you have a larger influx of people and a bigger population, it's a lot harder to do that at times, like I said, especially in the Roanoke and Roanoke County area.
When you're looking at the news and you're looking at bigger areas, even Roanoke, it surely does make you grateful to live in a community where we are relatively family, and most of us care about each other, and we take care of our own.
Yes.
Really makes you grateful.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you, you've been very generous in saying all the things that Anthony Klein has done, and indeed he has. As a grant writer, it sounds like he's got the Herb Cooley vibes. My dad was an expert at securing grants to save many lives and save the taxpayer dollars for the community, and it sounds like Anthony definitely has that in mind, and I am going to talk to him here shortly in the next episode of the podcast. And being a father of a young child, particularly a young daughter, I really appreciate that Anthony's top priority is children. But what would you say, this is going to be a difficult question for you because you're one of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. What would you say has been your greatest achievement in your law enforcement career, and particularly as sheriff?
I think the greatest achievement would be the opportunity to advance like I did.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to personal achievements, it would be, being able to start as a dispatcher and then go to a jail job and then patrol, investigate, civil process. There really hadn't been a field or a position in the office that I didn't have before I ran for the office.
Right.
But I'm really proud more than anything of, like I said, the great community support we have. Our people conducting themselves in a manner in Wythe County that we don't see, like I just gave an example in Roanoke County.
Mm-hmm.
And when you experience that type of atmosphere and the people in the community that you represent, that gives you more time to work on the things of the office. So I think one of the best things that we've been able to achieve, especially here lately, is just securing funding for our officers, like I said earlier, with our board being able to help us. As far as deputy sheriffs and sheriff's offices go throughout the state, I think the closest office to the benefits and the monetary funds that our officers receive that's even near to us is Fredericksburg, Virginia. So you don't always, money's not is the root of all evil, like we've all heard. You can't.
Well, the love of money, yes.
Right, the love of money. It's not always going to get you the best employee, but by the same token, a livable wage nowadays of what some of these area sheriff's offices are paying, you can call them and they'll tell you that they can't find anybody to work. To put on a badge and a gun is, in my opinion, like I said, it might sound like I'm humble, but, we get a lot of respect and honor when one of our own is fallen.
Mm-hmm.
We experienced that here back in 1994, but, it's no different to me than you going to a regular job, whether it be Walmart or a phone company or a power company, and you dying on the job there or getting hurt on the job there. To me, the aspects of that's the same thing. You lose your life doing something that you love. But as far as we've come with employee benefits and stuff, that was one of my greatest achievements, I would say, is working with the chief deputy. We sat down, we come up with different portfolios, we presented to the county. And like I said, our county's just really been supportive of us, especially our board. And that's what I think was one of the greatest achievements. We've done other things. We retrofitted our vehicles. We've got computers in them. Used to be there was a day where we would come back to the office here back when I started and handwrite reports. Now these boys can do them in their vehicles. They've got laptops they can take out of the cars that goes with them.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to redesign our vehicles. We have a new stripe and a new decal on the vehicles with the American flag. It was just a patriotic type thing that I had notion that I wanted to do, not only to represent the country, and such a great country that we live in, but sort of to have some representation of our veterans as well, the people who fought and died to protect our freedom.
Absolutely. And now, there are two reasons that I wanted to do this interview, and the first one is a very selfish one, and I'll go ahead and come out with that. You are the last sheriff in 45 years to either work with or be trained by Herb Cooley. So that is the end of an era for me. That you would be the last one that my dad had a hand in training or working with. So I thought it was very important to acknowledge that, and I'm very proud of the legacy that he has led, and I know that he is because he has told me that he is very proud of what you have done. He always says that I remember him at basketball games. He was always polite. Hi, sir. How are you? And he always thought very highly of you and was thrilled when you received the job as sheriff. And he said he's a fine sheriff. So, and I have him on tape saying that if you need me to go back and play it. But you know, as the Cooley family, we're very proud that you have led us and kept us safe, and we're honored to call you personal friend. You have had my support since day one, and you will continue to for as long as we're here. So thank you for that, and thank you for what you've done personally for me. Secondly, you are, in growing up and spending my whole life with the Wythe County Sheriff's Office, you always hear good things and bad things. You can't please everyone. Everybody has something to say. Not everybody is ever going to be satisfied. But you are the only sheriff that I can recall. I never heard one bad thing. Never heard one negative comment thrown in your direction at all. In 4 years of you being sheriff, never heard one person say anything negative about you. You never had any opposition when you were facing an election, and I never heard one negative thing about you in the whole time you were sheriff. And
that means a whole lot to me, and I was actually at a Republican Party meeting last night. I wanted to stay active with the party who nominated me as their candidate back in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
I told him when I ran for the job, he was talking about being humble or humbled.
Mm-hmm.
When the vote count came in tonight, I had met Glenn Youngkin earlier in the year and had got to be really good friends with the candidate who was running for governor and who would soon be our governor.
Mm-hmm.
And when the vote count came in the night of the race, after the race was over, and I had beat out a gentleman who was running for governor by about 800 to 900 votes, I was so truly humbled, I didn't know what to do.
Right.
I looked over and I talked to my wife and some of the representatives there of the party. And I was like, there's no way. They've had to have got the vote count wrong or something. Something's not right here. And to have a gubernatorial race the same year as you're running for sheriff and actually get more votes in your county as sheriff, I just don't think that's happened very often. I don't think it's happened anywhere that I can remember. And it just really went to show me how much the people thought of me, and I'm still getting it today. I've had several different engagements that I've had to go out and attend today, and some people that I've had to talk to, and you still get that from people. I wished you wouldn't quit. I wish you'd stay, but like I said, you have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. But it pulls at your heartstrings to hear people to say that to you and to talk to you like that. And it's all you can do to hold back your emotions. I'll be honest with you. I've been treated so very well here, and it's just something I'll never forget. And the Lord God has blessed us. My last prayer before I shut my eyes every night is, bless the citizens of the county, and please bless those officers who are out protecting them, and do not let them get hurt under my watch. Like I said, that comes from losing Cliff Dicker back in 1994, and you just don't want to go through that again. These young men and women are putting the Kevlar on and coming out to protect people, every night from harm, and whether it be on an interstate highway, a local road, or just a domestic disturbance. They're trying their best to be the peacemakers, representatives of the peace. And, I just thank the Lord that I didn't have to go through that like some of my predecessors did, like Wayne Pike, some of those. It was so very devastating to Wayne, and devastating to the whole department, him and Herb. And I remember when all of that happened, I don't believe there was a word spoken in this office for 4 months. I didn't hear anybody say anything, talk about it. It just was so unreal. So somber a time, and I'll never forget him and what he went through. He was a mentor to me, much like your father was, but he had military experience, but more importantly, he had life experience. Taking a young man under his wing like he did me, and teach me the job. You can be one of the most highly educated people in the world, but somebody still has to sit down and take time to teach you the job. You can have degree upon degree on the wall, but then somebody still has to walk you through and teach you what your job actually is.
Because this job is not about book learning. This job is about connecting with the people. It seems kind of, I guess, trite maybe is the way to word it, but we're both big fans of the Andy Griffith Show. And
right.
My dad used to call them his training tapes. And
exactly.
And there's an episode of where Andy's on trial because of something Barney said that got him in trouble. And they put Barney on the witness stand, and he said, "You got to understand, this is a small town. When you're a sheriff of a small town, you can't be a sheriff. You got to be a friend. And this town ain't got a better friend than Andy Taylor. And I guarantee you that Wythe County doesn't have a better friend than Charles Foster." And we're
very kind.
And we're very grateful to you. And thank you for taking so much time to talk with me today. I will never forget it, sir.
Yes, sir. And like I said, if I could just add at the end of this, we want to thank God more than anything, but continue to keep these officers in your thoughts and your prayers. If you need anything, you feel free to always call the sheriff's office. Whoever might be listening or who might be out there, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you. But I just, like I said, I want to urge the community to keep praying for these young men and women that they don't get hurt and they continue to be successful in the work that they're trying to perform.
Absolutely, and God bless you in your retirement, Sheriff.
Thank you, Zach.
Thank you so much.